Hello, buddy, my name's Spy. Welcome back to another video, and today, guys, we're going to be doing a 3-round mock draft right here for the Eagles. Some weird things have happened to the channel over the past couple days. I've had to re-upload videos and stuff that were lost. Almost got taken down, but we're back here. I wanted to do an updated mock draft right here because it is almost the end of the NFL season, but it's the end of the college football season. We saw Indiana take down Miami. And there were some fun players in that game, and there's one that we're going to talk about right here that was really fun to watch. So we're going to go ahead and hop right into this with PFF. Again, the Eagles are, I don't care about that. They are locked into the 23rd pick in the draft since the season did end, unfortunately, against the 49ers. We don't want to talk about it. So this one's interesting. Francis Maui Noah is here. Let's go ahead and take a look at what happened. Okay, so this one's interesting. So Kenyon Sadiq went at 22. Caden Proctor went at 21. I don't like Caden Proctor at all. We'll talk about him probably a little bit more with the second one. He has bust written all over him. I'm sorry. He's not doing it for me, Slime. TJ Parker I actually do really like. I'm surprised he went that high. He usually doesn't. Usually Caleb Lomu goes in here somewhere as well. Caleb Banks at 14. He is getting a ton of traction. I don't think Maui Noah will be there. I don't think he played particularly well against Indiana. I was seeing him getting thrown around. There's definitely some concern with a lot of the tackles in this draft, honestly. I like Caleb Lomu. He's a lot more of a pass protector right now than he is really anything close to a run blocker at all. I mean, you look at some of these linemen, and there's problems with them. I like Vega Yane. I have picked him a lot right here for the Eagles, but we're going to go with Colton Hood here. Colton Hood is somebody that's just turned into like an absolute my guy. I've Dramond McCoy up here for some reason. My bad. Pulled up the wrong Tennessee corner. I love Colton Hood. Really good in zone. I think he can play man. There's definitely some concern about him on deep routes. You do see him get a little bit handsy, but I think is the CB2 in this defense. He's 6 foot 195. I think Colton Hood is just an absolute dream fit next to Quinyon Mitchell. He is awesome. Only allowed 300 yards in coverage last year. 1 touchdown, 1 pick, a 69 passer rating. He has just he's been awesome, really. I mean, Dramond McCoy missed pretty much all last year, and it was up to Colton Hood, and he held down the fort. He is just a really awesome player. Just slap him at outside corner in this Vic Fangio defense, and you kind of just let him go to work. He's really good. I really like Colton Hood. Who else would I consider here? Like I said, I would consider Vega Yane. Not a Caden McDonald fan, honestly. Not a big fan of him. Casey Concepcion, I floated as an idea before. I don't know if I'm taking a third receiver at pick 23. I mean, it depends on the A.J. Brown situation, right? You don't need a linebacker. Maybe Monroe Freeling you could talk yourself into. Because here's the thing. Like, some of these guys in the second here, like the start of the second, like Keith Abney, maybe Akeem Mesidor, definitely Brandon Cease. Like, you can talk yourself kind of into some of these guys going in the first round. Maybe Caleb Tiernan. You know, it's going to be interesting to see. This is a weird draft. I think once you get past like pick 15, I know I'm blabbering here, but once you get past 15, man, this draft really falls off. Like, Carnell Tate's really good, Dramond McCoy's really good, Ruben Bain, Peter Wood, Sonny Styles. Like, there's some really good players in here. Jeremiah Love, Caleb Downs, and then you get like Mansour Delane's pretty good. Kendrick Falk, I like. Spencer Fano, Avion Terrell, concerned about the size in the first round. Denzel Boston, TJ Parker, I like. Caden Proctor, Kenyon Sadiq, I like. And then it's just like brutal. So I do like that the Eagles are at 23 here. I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. We're going to take Colton Hood. And then we're going to head into the second round right here. Again, this is where, you know, interesting things happen because You know, like, how much of a drop-off really is there? I think some of these guys in the second really wouldn't be that far off from the first because this draft is just super weak. So you have a pretty decent second-round pick here. I love Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. This guy, I mean, again, like I said, I think a lot of these second-round guys, you know, aren't that far off from the first. If there's a team late in the first round that wants to emulate what whoops, hit my desk by accident. If somebody wants to emulate what happened with Nick Eamon-Warrior with McNeil-Warren, go for it, man. You get this guy in the right defense where he can kind of just play in the box. Dangerous, because this is a box safety. Did play deep, but he is a box safety. This man plays the run really well. Super aggressive, super athletic, freak. 6'2", 202, freak athlete. Really interesting player. I'm not going to take him here. I did take him in another mock draft before. I really like him. We're going to go a different route here today. Do they have... Okay, what do the tight ends look like here? Okay. So, I think we can get somebody that I had my eyes on later. I don't know if we're going to get somebody else. I don't know how familiar some of you are with D'Angelo Bonds. I'm not going to do it in this one. I'm probably going to do it another one. With this one, we'll talk about Bonds. I forgot. I took a corner in the first. My bad. We're going to go Max Clare right here, the tight end out of Ohio State. Now, you know, the tight end thing is weird for the Eagles. I'm gonna keep it real. I think I like this website a lot, by the way. NFL Draft Buzz, please use them. Great website, awesome. Whoever made this, I love you. Kiss you on the lips, give you a fat, you know, sloppy, wet kiss, whatever you want. I love this website. They have him as their number 2 tight end. I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. I think there's a pretty big drop off after Kenyon Sadiq. Claire, whoops, did not mean to click on him. Claire's interesting. Eli Stowers. Michael Trigg's interesting. I like Eli Raridan, but I don't really see him having a really high upside. I think Claire and Stowers are like right there for tight end 2 and 3. I do agree with that. I do think there's a drop off. I chose Max Clare here. I really like him as a receiver. I think he gives me a lot of Dalton Kincaid vibes. Maybe a little Zach Ertz, maybe a little bit of Ertz. I do kind of get those vibes with Max Clare. Really good at Purdue, went over to Ohio State, had a solid season. I think he's pretty much locked in to be like a second round pick. Again, he is mostly, you know, that big slot tight end, and there's nothing wrong with that necessarily. You just have to have your second and third tight end be able to block, and you can kind of make this work. He's not a bad blocker. It's definitely, like, you know, this says it's a work in progress. He's built decently. Maybe could have a little bit more meat on him, but, you know, 6'5", 243, he's just decently quick. But where you see him thrive is intermediate. I mean, he just finds holes in zones. Like, you can just tell when you watch him, he's just a really, really smart player. Makes some great catches. He's a really good route runner. He's a decent threat after the catch. He can break off a tackle and get some extra yards. I don't know if he's like a burner, but yeah, he finds really, really good holes in zones. He does a great job of doing that. Finds the soft spots. Makes great catches. You know, I really can see some Dalton Kincaid low end, some Zach Ertz, maybe a little bit of Pat Freiermuth in there. This is somebody I do like. I think he's interesting. I don't know if you're going to come in here and get what you would really want ideally out of a tight end for the Eagles. I mean, maybe like an Eli Raridan, because he's a pretty good blocker, but I don't know if any of these guys really jump off the page to you. It's a weird class for tight ends. Again, not the greatest blocker, but man, is he a really, really good route runner. Just gets open, right? And at the NFL level, players that just get open and find holes in zones and move the chains, they're great players, man. Especially at tight end. Just get open. You know, I think Max Clare does that really, really well. So we're going to take him there in the second. So we are set up here in round 3. The Eagles have a couple of third-round picks. I don't see them necessarily keeping all these. We'll see if they keep them, but you know, we need another receiver in here, man. Mother of God, I can't watch Jahan Dotson anymore. I just can't keep watching these guys they bring in. What do we have at receiver here is a very interesting question. Not the greatest. CJ Daniels had a decent game. I like him. Zachariah Branch is somebody I like. Deion Burks is interesting. Malachi Fields doesn't really fit what I'm looking for. After that, this is a interesting receiver class. We have 68 here, and then we're going to come back up at 98 later on. Let me just go ahead. There's somebody else I have my eye on. Let's just... I really like Deni Dennis Sutton. I'm a big fan of him. Is he going to be there? Maybe he's there. I'm going to take Zachariah Branch. I think the Eagles need somebody who has speed, who can be a returner, because, you know, I'm done watching Britton Covey and Will Shipley return kicks. He's somebody that played in the slot a lot at Georgia. Deep threat, gets open, interesting player, not the biggest player. You know, not going to be a wide receiver 1, but this is somebody that can make yards after the catch. 93 targets, 800 yards last year, 6 touchdowns. A solid player, a bit of a burner, and a good receiver. Definitely has some electricity in him. We'll take him here, Zachariah Branch out of Georgia, because if I have to watch another year of a third receiver for the Eagles not be able to return kicks, not be able to get yards after the catch, not be able to burn downfield, not be able to score, not be able to catch, not be able to get yards, pretty much anything that would make you, I don't know, a good player in the NFL. The Eagles have nothing at receiver 3 that can do anything close to that. So Deni Dennis Sutton, yeah, he got picked. I really like him in this defense. I think he's a pretty good fit. We took a corner, we took a tight end, we took a receiver. Where do we want to go here? Tyreek Sapp's interesting, edge out of Florida. Not the greatest score here. Definitely had some pretty solid games in the past. I feel like this is somebody that was looked at a lot better in years past. Maybe consider taking him. Will Lee I like. He's an interesting player. Malik Muhammad I like. Do we want to just stick with that route and go defense here? Yeah, I'd feel okay with that, honestly. Nobody's really jumping out to me. I hate walking out of this without a lineman too, but guys, this tackle class sucks. Once you get past the first couple guys, even the first couple guys have problems. Interior, Kalen Rutledge is interesting. I'm not taking him here. This is way too high. Pat Coogan played really well. I really liked him. I don't know if he's played anything other than center. Looks like he played left guard a couple years ago. He's a really good center. If the Eagles want to get Cam Jurgens' dumbass off this team, I'm more than okay with that. I'm going to go with Tyreek Sapp, edge rusher out of Florida. Definitely somebody that had a lot of potential over the past couple years. Looks like he didn't really play up to it last season. But hey, there's our first draft. PFF wasn't the biggest fan, but F them. So Colton Hood is the prize pick right there. Let's go ahead and hop over to the Pro Football Network, because you can only do one PFF draft a day and they hate you. They absolutely hate you there at PFF if you don't give them their $15 a month. They're worse than the damn mafia. No, I'm not. Whoa, what the hell? Okay, I'm going to keep it real with you. Nobody's trading up in this draft like that. I'm sorry. I really don't see. Once you get past, like I said, 15, I'm not a fan of this class, and I don't really necessarily see anyone trading up into the first round to get somebody unless they're, like, obsessed with trying to get the 5th-year option. I mean, if you're that obsessed with it, man, I don't know what to tell you. I don't think you need it that bad. What do we have right here? What do we have right here? What do we have right here? So, you know, I left the last one without a lineman. Every time I do this one, it never gives me a tackle. I'm not taking Caden Proctor. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. This guy has bust written all over him. There is no way this guy is playing tackle at 6'6", 369. He is going to get killed by speed rushers. This guy is going to get cooked. Guard, sure. This is a big guard, though, right? Definitely. You know, Jalen Hurts isn't the tallest quarterback either. Do you want this guy playing guard? No. Just not a fan of him. I see some people in the media mock him to the Eagles all the time. I just don't agree with that. That would just be, that's a disaster. I'm sorry. I know they need to have a plan for Lane Johnson, but you know, this just isn't really the draft for that. It's really not. And there's some guys I like later on, but man, I'm not sitting here twerking over Caden Proctor. I'm sorry. It's just not happening. Obviously, I want to do something different here. I think the edge room is probably going to lose Jalen Phillips. I don't think he's going to be here next year, unfortunately. I really like Jalen Phillips. Absolute pressure machine. I really don't want to watch another season where it's just Jalix Hunt and Nolan Smith against the world and there's absolutely no depth. That was pretty brutal to watch last year, especially when Nolan Smith got hurt. We were watching Josh Uche. I don't think Azeez Ojulari played at all. You know, I like the front two guys in the edge. I don't like the depth behind them. We're going to take TJ Parker. I think he fits the Fangio defense pretty well. This guy just gets to the ball. He really just gets to the ball. Super explosive off the line. Gets a ton of forced fumbles. He had a ton of sacks. I think in 2024. He had 11 sacks, 20 tackles for loss, 6 forced fumbles. He didn't put that same numbers up last year. Now, I want to be clear with something. You could say the same thing about like Peter Woods and some other players from Clemson. You know, you watch Clemson at the end of last year, and there's certainly some business decisions that were made, and there's concern about that, but Clemson's been a disaster. Okay, they were a disaster last year. I don't think everybody was giving their full effort for that Clemson team last season, unfortunately, but he's a really good pass rusher. I think he's got a great speed type of build. He's decently powerful. He's got pretty good pass rush moves. I really like him, man. I agree he doesn't have the greatest bend. If he can get back to that 2024 level, I think he fits this defense pretty well. He can back off into coverage. He's not the greatest at it. He can cover. He's super athletic. I think this is somebody that would actually fit pretty well on the Eagles. And we're going to take him right here in the first round. You can never, ever, 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 ever have too much pass rush. And that's something I believe in. And I will always believe in that. Now let's believe in something else. And that is the myth, the man, and the legend of D'Angelo Pons. I'm taking him right here. Now, okay, there's definitely some concern here because D'Angelo Pons plays at 5'9", 170. And at Indiana, he plays outside zone. He is an outside corner. And Indiana plays a ton of zone. They only really play zone. They don't ever really play man. They're a zone team. It's not just the national championship. Pons was really good during the season, but in that national championship the other day, I mean, if they're handing out an MVP award, I know Mendoza deserves it, but defensively, D'Angelo Pons was probably the best player on that field. D'Angelo Pons was insane. Unbelievable tackling, unbelievable run support, providing legit coverage in zone. I mean, this man hits like a truck. He hits like an absolute truck. He is a fierce competitor. He gets to the ball. When he's playing against the run, he gets to the ball. incredible instincts. He's tiny. He's tiny, okay? He is really small. I watched him guard Jeremiah Smith, and he did pretty decent. Is some of that the scheme? Definitely. Great scheme. They ran a great defense there at Indiana last year. Let's not sit here and act like, Vic Fangio doesn't run a great scheme as well. Can he play outside corner in the NFL? I have no idea. Yes, he did handle elite athletes, and he can handle big receivers. He did it in college. Can he do it in the NFL? I have no idea. But guess what? This guy is a dog. He is aggressive. He plays zone really damn near perfectly. I'm taking him because I think if you can get him to actually be an outside corner, with the way he plays, man, there's a really good player in there. If you can get all that put together, there's an incredible player in D'Angelo Pons. I really, really like him. And guess what? We're going to double dip on Indiana. Am I gassing up Indiana maybe a little bit more than I should? I don't know. Maybe I'm insane. But I don't care. Because guess what? Your teammate's coming with you. Omar Cooper Jr. I'm not leaving this draft in the second or third rounds without another receiver. Okay? You guys don't understand how much PTSD I have from watching Jahan Dotson and Quez Watkins and all these other garbage cans they put out there. I think Darius Cooper's a nice story. I don't think he's an actual NFL receiver, really. I'm sorry. Johnny Wilson's interesting. Don't care. I'm not watching Ainias Smith. Thank God he wasn't on the team. He was horrible. I'm done watching some of these bums. It's time to actually invest in a third receiver. And especially if you lose one of your top guys. If you lose a Devontae Smith for a game. If you lose an A.J. Brown for a game. Now, thankfully, over the majority of both of their careers, they haven't missed many games. But, I feel like over the past couple of years, AJ's missed a game or two here. Devontae's missed a game or two here. Having somebody who can actually step up and not be a complete and total moron out there like Jahan Dotson. I'm sorry, I'm just going to keep trashing on Jahan Dotson. He was a terrible fit. I have no idea why Howie Roseman traded for Jahan Dotson. Terrible fit. Okay, Jahan Dotson is Walmart Devontae Smith. That is not what the Eagles needed in their third receiver. Omar Cooper Jr. is a legit, oh my God, I can't talk. A legit deep threat. This man can fly down the field. His vertical speed and acceleration is incredible. He can get down the field. He can stretch the field. He can take, balls over the middle and get 10, 15 yards. He's really tough. He's really competitive. He gets open. He has great speed. I mean, this sounds like a third receiver. Am I on crack? Now, there is a problem. The route tree's probably not incredible. I mean, he's your third receiver. Just run a go ball, okay? Jalen Hurts likes to throw it deep. Let's give him somebody who can actually be a field stretcher as the third receiver. And there's some effort problems. You can definitely see it. There's some questionable routes that I've seen him run. Can't really talk about that too much. I don't know him as a person, but when I watch him play, I see somebody who gets open, who makes yards after the catch, who makes people miss, who has great speed, great contact balance. Not exactly the biggest player. Probably going to stick in the slot. Not your greatest blocker. But man, I am done watching these bums that they put out there at wide receiver 3, man. I'm done with it. So we're going to take him right there. This is a funny draft right here. So we took an edge, we took a corner, we took a receiver. Every time I do this, man, you get down here and it's like, what lineman sticks out to me? None of them. Okay, what guard sticks out? Really, none of them. Jake Slaughter's not going here. So then you got to kind of just, cut your losses a little bit. I mean, Eli Raritan in the 3rd round, I think, is a little high. This one's definitely higher on him than PFF. I'm a Notre Dame fan. 2025 wasn't his best year. 24 was a lot better. I think he's a really interesting build. He's a very good blocker. I don't know about him as a receiver. We just didn't really see it. Had injuries last year. Just never really popped off really as a receiver. I'm going to take him because I feel like you got to walk away here with a tight end if Dallas Goedert isn't going to come back. I like him as a blocker. I think there's definitely some upside as a pass catcher. But we have another draft here where, I couldn't really pick out a lineman. And, I mean, we could run this again, obviously, and take Vega Iyane. There's still questions with him. There's still questions with a lot of these players. So this is one I do like. You get somebody else in there in that edge rotation. You get another outside corner potentially. You get a 3rd receiver, and you get a tight end of the future. I do like this one. I like both of these that we came up with. They're kind of similar, just different players at these positions. But again, I mean, I'm sorry. It's just, I don't know what lineman you really run up here with some of the other needs the Eagles have. Like, I need another tight end on this team. I need an outside corner on this team. I need a 3rd receiver on this team. I didn't get a chance to take Akeem Mesidor. I think he's someone I really like. 12.5 sacks. Akeem Mesidor can play inside, outside. He's a really, really good player. Really good against the run. This is somebody I really like as well. Wasn't able to get him in here, but again, I think interior defensive lineman can use another guy, and edge can still use another guy. You can never have too many defensive linemen. So, there are sneakily some needs on this team. There's my 3-rounder for today. Let me know what your favorite pick was down below. My favorite, I mean, I was watching D'Angelo Bonds yesterday. That man could be nice on this team. But let me know who your favorite pick was down below. Anyway, hit the like button, the sub button, the post notifications. Love you guys, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.